I'm often asked what to do in a scenario when a friend is X, and it usually has an always behavior or only behavior attached to it, where she only talks about things that are negative or only positive, or only calls me when she's not in relationship, or only in crisis, or only on her commute, or hangs out with friends without inviting me. And so we have these behaviors that we wouldn't say are crimes or huge betrayals, but they're hurtful, and we take offense, and we feel less valuable and less meaningful to the other person because of those behaviors. And we have a need that's something more than what we're getting. And so usually the tape that plays in our head will say, oh, she doesn't care about me, she's selfish, and we have a lot of anger and a lot of emotion behind it, and a lot of intensity and blame. But often, because we have two general approaches that we take to our friendship conflict. One is just give up and walk away and call it toxic or dismiss it, and the other is tolerate it and put up with it for as much as we can and as long as we can and try to be understanding, but it kind of keeps getting at us. And many of us do one and then do the other, tolerate as long as we can and then walk away. And I want to share with you my two-step approach today that might be a third option in between those two, where rather than just kind of brushing our hands of frustrating experiences, we choose to invest in our friendships and say there's something here, let's try to enhance it, let's try to repair it, let's try to build upon it. And so here's the first two steps that I always try to take. It doesn't mean it will solve everything, but it's a really casual, meaningful, easy way to at least start the conversation and to start having the courageous conversation, to start speaking up for what we need, to start shifting the energy. And so we don't want to show up with a lot of blame and have a big talk at an early stage in this when we haven't brought it up before. And so the two steps that I always try to remember is to affirm and to ask. To affirm is to show gratitude for what they do, encourage the behaviors that mean a lot to us, kind of say thank you for the motive behind their behaviors. It's affirming what is good. And asking is asking for what we need, asking for what is it we're wanting to change, what do we need more of in this friendship. And so let's do some examples of affirm and ask. So if a friend only calls you on her way home on her commute, and it's 15-minute conversations always, and it feels like it's only at her convenience, then one of the things that we can do is say, it means so much to me that you think of me often and call me, and I know you're really busy. It means a lot that you take this time to call me. And there's a lot I would love to talk with you that probably would involve a longer, deeper conversation every once in a while. Is there any chance that next week there's a time where you and I could schedule some time to talk longer? Affirm and ask. Another example, if a friend only talks about everything that's positive and amazing and she kind of has this PR image or isn't comfortable being vulnerable with you, a possible thing to do is to affirm and to say, I love how cheerful you are, how hopeful you are. I really love, in this day and age, it's refreshing to have a friend who has a smile on her face and sees the good in all things. I love that about you. And I want to make sure that I'm the kind of friend that is safe for you to share deeper with and to share things that aren't always the good and the beautiful. I want to make sure that I am being here for you to share your stressors and the things that you worry about. Is there anything I can do that would help make that a safer place for you? Because I would love for us to talk about some of that sometime. Affirm and ask. Another example, if your friends get together without you, you introduce the two of them maybe, and you often see them getting together without you, and it hurts your feelings. Affirm and ask. Affirm. I love seeing my friends be friends with each other. I always have this beautiful vision of my friends knowing each other and us being a group and there being a sense of tribe. And I love that. It really does make me happy to see the two of you hanging out. And I know that you have X in common or your schedules. I get that, totally. And I miss you both. I would love to hang out with you. I'd love to be included some of the time. Not all the time, but as much as possible. Is there a time where the three of us could get together and do something that works for you? Affirm and ask. So we could go down a litany of disappointments and frustrations and annoyances, and we can figure out how to affirm what we know is their motive None of our friends woke up this morning saying, I want to really hurt her. They're not showing up trying to be malicious. They have good intent. They're doing the best they can. They're doing what they're aware of. And so we have a beautiful opportunity to say thank you for that and to affirm it and then to ask for what we need. And so this doesn't have to be a big conversation that puts somebody on the defensive. It doesn't involve blame. It's acknowledging that it's our responsibility to speak up, to ask for what we need, and to help increase the odds of us getting our needs met in this friendship.